Your word is power. Discover the secrets to the power of your words. So here's understanding your power. So first off, your words shape your reality. The things you say program your mind. And what you say affects people mentally and emotionally. It programs other people's minds as well. And speech has frequency, and frequency affects everything. So what you say can either save lives or start wars. So let's jump right into it. Words shape your reality. Through the law of attraction, things you say shape your reality. Now, mystics have told us throughout time that the words we use in our internal states of being, what we're feeling and thinking, create the world around us. It shapes it and manifests what's inside and what we're saying. And science is coming to prove this through the law of attraction and through quantum physics. We're now beginning to see even more clearly that what we say, and even more deeply how we're being internally, emotionally, and mentally, literally shapes the reality. The molecules, the particles, everything, it all, from inside the words you say and everything, it just goes out and just attracts everything. And this is how it works. It's very quantifiable. It's a very real thing. So words shape your reality. Even the words that you would just say and don't even realize, just like things that you might say, those have an effect as well. Everything shapes the reality. So the things you say program your mind. This is another way where words shape your reality. Everything you say gets stuck in your mind. It absorbs everything you're exposed to. The mind absorbs everything. That's how it works. Everything that you're surrounded with, everything, the mind just sucks it in, and it's very it gets in there. So you have to be very clear about what you want to do, what you want to be, and the words is how you do that. Because if you say words that you really don't want to live, you really don't want to experience, it's going to get stuck in your mind. It's going to come back over and over and over again. So you really have to guard the words that you say. So your words affect people mentally and emotionally. So how do you want to affect people? Are the words you say in line with how you want to be? Maybe you, like most people, really want to help people. I know I do. I know I want to, do the best for people. And if you use words that are negative or pessimistic, it really affects people mentally and emotionally. If you look at something like hypnosis is basically, or neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, it says we're all kind of in a hypnotic state all the time. And the words that we say affect other people in a very real way. If you say something like, "Oh, a lovely sunny day on a beach, and I felt so great," instantly, you maybe even be able to feel that. You start to picture that. You start to feel that. You really start to get in that mode. So what you say affects people mentally and emotionally. Your speech has frequency, and frequency affects everything. So through the science of sound, everything has frequency. And this is, again, one of the basic principles of the law of attraction. So through the science of sound, basically it tells us that everything gives off a specific frequency. So, for example, a butterfly flapping its wings gives off a very high frequency because its cycles per second is very high, and that's what frequency is. For example, something that's very low, like, for example, a whale would have a much lower frequency. And bottom line is your speech gives off a very specific frequency that affects everything around it. And through the law of attraction and quantum physics, it literally attracts that. So speech is very important. So what you say can save lives or start wars. Through the words you use, you choose what tomorrow you live. And this is, maybe in politics, you see these words can be so important. Someone can say something, two countries could ruin their negotiations, and, disaster can happen. Or the most beneficial, beautiful thing could ever happen, depending on what you say. And here's the honest truth. Everything we do in this world, at least most things, are interpreted through words. It's like a looking glass we look through and we interpret our life through. And that is somewhat limiting, but it's the way it is. I'm communicating to you through words. You're hearing it, you're interpreting these words, and they mean something to you. And of course, these words are subjective. It means something different to everyone. But in general, if you monitor and say words that are in line with what you want to be, you're going to empower yourself. If you can say words that are uplifting, you're going to program yourself and others in a positive way, and you're going to attract more positive situations. And mastering these laws of attraction are really important. And I hope you apply this basics of words to your life, and you'll see that you're really stepping in your power. So thanks for watching.